NCERT Exemplar 2 Organisms and Populations. Autecology is the relation of a population to its environment, relation of population, relation of an individual to its environment, relation of a community to its environment, relation of a biome to its environment. Autecology, we call it as species ecology. Autecology, which means species ecology. That means one particular species with their surrounding environment. So, among the four, where do you find the answer? Relation of a population to its environment, individual to its environment. Relation of a population, species ecology we said, so that's why we say relation of a population to its environment is the answer. Ecotone, so I am putting star mark here where we have organism population, some part of the syllabus is removed. So even we have that questions in NCERT exemplar, so I am putting star mark here, just we don't have this in syllabus at present now. Ecotone is a polluted area, the bottom of a lake, a zone of transition between two communities, then a zone of developing community. Ecotone is the two different ecosystems, like means there is a lake ecosystem, there is a forest. The transition zone can be called as a ecotone, a zone of transition between two communities. We can say ecotone. Ecological niche, whatever, the surface area of the ocean, the ecologically adapted zone, the physical position and functional role of a species within the community, formed of all plants and animals living at the bottom of lake. So, ecological niche, whatever the physical position or functional role of a species within the community. Ecological niche, the full definition, the functional, physiological, physical role of an organism we call ecological niche. Here is given physical position and functional role of a species within the community. According to Allen's rule, the mammals from colder climates, Allen's rule, Jordan's rule, Glager's rule, Bergman, Van 't Hoff, everything is removed from the syllabus. That according to Allen's rule, from colder climates, Allen said that the extremities like ears, tail, snout should be very short at this particular condition because not to lose the heat from the body. So, where do you find that answer? Shorter ear and shorter limbs, not to lose the heat from the body. Salt concentration, salinity of the sea measured in parts per thousand is also removed from the syllabus. 10 to 15, 30 to 70, 0 to 5, 30 to 35, 33%, which means 30 to 35. Formation of tropical forests need mean annual temperature and mean annual precipitation is. So, there is a graph earlier, even I am not putting answer here, we are moving forward. There is a graph earlier, from that graph this question is asked here, they completely removed, no relation with the current syllabus now. Which of the following forest plants control the light conditions at the ground? So, even from the syllabus this part is removed, but we have vertical stratification. We have a word called stratification in the ecosystem chapter. So, it is related to that. That's why we are answering this. Options are given: lianas, climbers, shrubs, tall trees, herbs. So, according to stratification, the top position will be occupied by tall trees. So, they are going to control the light conditions at the ground because they are bigger. They stop the light to penetrate towards the land. What will happen to a well-growing herbaceous plant in the forest if it is transplanted outside the forest in a park? A general statement question, even though not there in syllabus at present. What will happen? A well-growing herbaceous plant in the forest, if it is transplanted outside the forest in a park, it will grow normally. It will grow well because it is planted in the same locality. It may not survive because of change in microclimate. It grows very well because the plant gets more sunlight. It may not survive because for that particular tree, microclimate might be varied over. If a population of 50 paramecium present in a pool increased to 150 after an hour, what would be the growth rate of population? What would be the growth rate of population? So, previous population given 50. Now it was grown to 150. That means 150 minus 50. What is the growth? 100. 100 are grown over. Okay, so saying after hour, 50 per hour, 200 per hour, 5 per hour, 100 per hour. In a population of 50 paramecium present in a pool increases to 150 after an hour. What would be the growth rate of a population? What would be the growth rate of population? So, answer is 100 per hour. 100 per hour. What would be the percent growth or birth rate per individual per hour for the same population mentioned in the previous question, the 10th question? What would be the percent growth or birth rate per individual per hour for the same population mentioned in the previous population? So, asking about birth rate. Birth rate. So, what is birth rate? Principle for birth rate is number of new births by previous population. Number of new births by previous population. So, in the previous population, earlier given 50, new births are 100, isn't it? So, how many new births here? 100. What is the previous population? 50. So, what is the birth rate here? 2. So, in that way, we can say the birth rate, the growth rate will be 200. Here, the percent growth or birth rate per individual will be 200. A population has more young individuals. A population has more young individual compared to the older individual. What would be the status of the population after some years? So, we have three types of populations here: growing population, stable population, declining population. So, our set condition, more young individuals are available in the growing population. What can be expected in future? It will decline, it will stabilize, it will increase, it will first decline then stabilize. Growing population is having all the possibilities to increase in future times. Growing population all the time having possibility of increase. Next question. What parameters are used for tiger census in our country, national parks and sanctuaries? Pug marks only, pug marks and fecal pellets only, actual head counts. Head counts is not possible here. So, we go through pug marks and fecal pellets. Pug marks and fecal pellets. Which of the following would necessarily decrease the density of a population in a given habit? Which of the following would necessarily decrease density of a population in a given habitat? Options given: natality is more than mortality, immigration more than emigration, mortality and emigration, natality and immigration. So, necessarily decrease, they are asking, this decrease mortality and emigration is going to be the reason. A protozoan reproduced by binary fission. What will be the number of protozoan in its population after 6 generations? What will be the number of protozoan in its population after 6 generations? So, asking about binary fission, so that means organism will divide into 2. So we have 4 options: 128, 24, 64 and 32. Formula for this is 2 to the power of n. That means 6 generation they said. That means 2 to the power of 6. 2 to the power of 6 means 64. So what is our answer? 64. In 2005, for each of the 14 million people present in a country, 0.028 were born and 0.02008 died during the year using exponential equation. Exponential equation, asking about using exponential equation. The number of people present in 2015 is predicted as. So need to do the problem here. Let's go to the problem. Let's do some problem here. First of all, we'll go with the exponential growth equation. So how will it be written? Exponential growth equation: dn by dt equal to Rn. Exponential growth equation is dn by dt equal to Rn. So in that, first of all, we need to find out what is R. R equal to B minus D. R equal to B minus D. So what is B? Birth rate is given 0.028 minus the death rate is given 0.0008. So what will be our answer here? 0.02. So we got R value. dn by dt equal to Rn. We got R value. R equal to intrinsic rate of natural increase, we can say. Intrinsic rate of natural increase, we got 0.02 R value. Let me show here. Exponential equation they asked, 0.028 were born and 0.008 died. So I found answer at least 0.020 is the R value. Okay. Then now let's start the formula. dn by dt equal to Rn. So from the R we got 0.02, nothing but 0.020 is no matter. And what is N? Previous population, how much they said? The 2005 population, they said 14 million. Okay. And 14 million it came, and the time duration is 10 years. So dn by dt equal to 0.02 into 14. I am writing this t here. That means 10 years. So what we get answer here? 14 2 is 28 into 10. That means that will come for 2.8 million. 2.8 million. 14 million is already there, plus 2.8 million. It will come nearly 16.8 million. So nearby answer we have 17 millions. 17 million is going to be our answer here. Okay, so this is the question that we need to practice in a proper way. For these kind of questions, we need to practice a proper way. Let me erase this first of all. Then I'll put all that in order. So first of all, we need to find it out. What is our, and we'll make the screen ready for this. Formula for this is dn by dt equal to Rn. So in the given R I found like 0.02. Birth rate minus death rate B minus D. 0.0 is no matter, 0.02 or 0.02. So N itself given 14 million. So this I am writing like this, dN equal to Rn into time. So 0.02 okay, 0.02 into 14 million and the time period of 10 years they say. So it will come nearly 2.8. If we add 14 million, 2.8, that will come 17 million nearly it will come the answer. So this is the question. Okay. Now moving on. Amensalism is an association between the species where Amensalism is an association between the species where one species is harmed and other is benefited. One species is harmed, other is benefited. One species is harmed, other is unaffected. One species is benefited, other is unaffected. Both the species are harmed. Amensalism we can show symbol like this, minus 0. So one species is harmed and other is unaffected. Amensalism, one species is harmed and other is unaffected. So this is, we can say example for this is antibiotics is one of the best example here we got question in the NEET even. Antibiotics is the best example. Lichens, lichens are the association of bacteria and fungus, algae and bacterium, fungus and algae, and fungus and virus. So lichen or lichen is the association between the algae and fungi. Which of the following is a partial root parasite? Almost outside NCERT we can say partial root parasite. Sandalwood, mistletoe, Orobanche, Ganoderma. Among the four, all the four we don't have in NEET NCERT text, but it is NCERT exemplar, need to focus. Sandalwood is the answer for this partial root parasite. Which one of the following is reproduced sexually only once in a lifetime? Banana plant, mango plant, tomato, eucalyptus. Organism reproduces sexually only once its lifetime. The answer is banana plant. Okay. Then these are all the exemplar problems, organisms and population, though some questions are not included in syllabus. Population ecology and population interactions are only at present in the current syllabus. So these are the exemplar biology to organism, population from Icon Educational Institutions. Thank you.